Hi, my name is André and welcome at your guitar workshop. Today's lesson is all about Mateus Asato's North. I think he recorded about a year ago. I'm not 100% sure, but it's such a lovely song. And he plays it on a steel string. I'm playing it on a nylon string guitar. I really like the sound of the nylon for this tune, but of course you can play it on an electric or a steel string or whatever. Good to know is that the tune is tuned down a half step. So my guitar is right now in E flat standard tuning. If you want the tabs, they're available on my Patreon page. Let's just get right into it, and we'll start with the intro first. All right, so what do? 3 chords here. First one, G sharp minor 9. The second one, C minor 9. And then the last one is E at 9. All right. So that G sharp minor 9 is played like this. So you have your middle finger in 3rd of G, pinky in 4th of D, and ring finger is in 4th of your low E string. I do a forward roll on E, D, and G. Thumb, pointer finger, middle finger. Like that. Then ring finger plays open B. Put your pointer finger there in 2nd. And then we switch to the C sharp minor 9, like this. Right? The C sharp minor 9, pinky is in 4th of B, ring finger is in, B, ring finger is in 4th of G, and middle finger is in 4th of your A string. Forward roll on A, G, and D, A, G, and B. And then you play open E string there, right? And then you switch to E add 9. So that's your regular E chord. Remove your ring finger and just put your pinky in 4th of your D string. For some of you, that might be a little bit of a stretch. And then I do a forward roll on E, A, D, and G. Thumb takes E and A, and then pointer finger does D, and middle finger does G. Like that. When you combine those 3, you get this. Then you got to repeat, but with a little bit of a twist at the end. So when on that C sharp minor 9 chord, instead of playing open E, you just play G again with your pointer finger, and then you keep your ring finger on that G string and put your pointer finger as a bar on D, G, and B in 2nd position, which makes A add 9, right? And you do a forward roll with your thumb, pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger on A through B, right? Then you get this again. So that's a repeat of the first time. You do it again. Then you get this one here, right? So that would be an E6-9 without a 3rd in it. Pointer finger is in 2nd position of B and E. Ring finger is in 4th of your G string. And also here, you will do a forward roll. So thumb plays E string, then pointer G, middle B, and ring finger E. Right? It could be that he's fretting that D string as well. I know he's playing it later on in the song. Right, and doing the full thing, but I believe here is just playing those 4 strings. All right, so to recap, G sharp minor 9, C sharp minor 9, E add 9. Here we end with A major add 9, back to E add 9, your E6-9 at the end without the 3rd. All right, here we go to the next section, which is probably one of my favorite parts of the song, and that goes like this. Here we go. All All right, so what do? The first chord that you're playing here is a G sharp minor, and that's middle finger in 7th of your E string, pointer finger is in 6th of your D, and ring finger is in 8th your G string, and you have an open B string, right? Basically, ring finger belongs to E, middle finger belongs to B, pointer finger belongs to G, and thumb belongs to your D string in this section. So you play D and E together, then G, B, put your pinky in 9th of E string and play that. All right, so then you just drag the whole thing down until your pinky is in 6th, ring finger is in 6th, and your pointer finger is in 4th. So like this. Then you play B, G, and then you put your pinky in 7th of your E string, and then with thumb, pointer finger, ring finger, you play those 3 strings, and you make a quick slide back to 6th position with that pinky, right? So you get this. And then you slide the whole thing down 2 semitones, right? So you go. After that, you play G, B, E. Then you go to, let's see, B major 7 with D sharp in the bass. And that's basically the same shape as what you have for the G sharp minor, only now this is all in 1st position. You play D and E, G, B, E, and then you go here, which is A major add 9 sharp 11. It's a thing, right? So that's pinky in 4th of B, ring finger in 4th of G, pointer finger is in 2nd of the D string. You play A and E together, right? And then you play B, G, then thumb plays D, and then you get E, B, G again, so like this. Play D and E again. All right, so that sequence like this, slowly. Then you repeat that, but you have a little bit of a twist at the end. So you get again this. So you do this once, that A major add 9 sharp 11. Then you go to that B major with D sharp in the bass, so B major 7. So you play D and E together, followed by G string. And then you go to that A major add 9. And you do that with a forward roll again. Right? Like this. All right, so then we get the next section, which is our E major 7 section. So it starts off with a pickup, and that pickup goes like this. All right, so what do? You are in 4th position with your pointer finger on the A string. You play it with your thumb, make a hammer on in 6, then put your pointer finger down in 4th of D and G, and you do that with pointer finger and middle finger. Then you move that pointer finger up to 6th position. It's still on the D and G string, and now you play E, D, and G with thumb, pointer finger, and middle finger. Important here is that we're muting. We're palm muting here. Right? This is really important for the sound. So you play the first one, and then immediately you make the hammer on with your ring finger in 8th position of the G string, so like this. Right? So you got 1, 2. Once more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Play bass string. Then you play D and G again without the ring finger here. Right? You make that hammer on in 8th. Play it again, and then pull off. Then pinky in 9 of D, and then you play 6th position of that D string, like this. And you do it again. Then you move this whole thing down so your pointer finger is now in 4th position. Put your ring finger in 6th of A. You play D, G, and B. Sorry, A, D, and G. And make a hammer on with your pinky in 6th of your G string. Right? So what you do is you play this. Then you do 2 more. Then you play the bass. Then you play D and G, slide down a whole step, and then you go to B major 7. Now that B major 7 is with pinky in 3rd of G. Pointer finger is in 1st of D, and middle finger is in 2nd of your A string. You play D, A, and then B, G, D. Right, so got then it starts over. So that's a little different. So you do the hammer on, and then you just play D and G in 6th. And then you get this 9th to 6th on the D string. Repeat. The last time you do this one here is the same as what you did in the beginning. Then on that next chord, you, which is, by the way, B major 7 add 9 with D sharp in the bass. So pointer finger 4th of D and G, ring finger is in 6th of that same of A string. And you play the bass, then D and G, make the hammer with your pinky in 6th position, and then you play D, A, and then B, J, D, B, G, D, A, B, G, D, A, B, G, D, like that. Right? Then you get this part. Sometimes when people record things are edited afterwards, and you can clearly hear in the recording the G sharp in there, right? Whether that's an overdub of another instrument, I'm not really sure. Sometimes, he does add extra tracks to the guitar, which makes it sound so awesome and full. But I put it, if it doesn't belong into the guitar arrangement, I put it here because in that way, when I play it, it sounds closest to what I hear on the recording. Whoops. Right? So, and in this case, this would be and in this case, this would be a G sharp minor 11 with the 9th on top. So that is pointer finger as a bar in 4th position, middle finger is in 6th of your A string, ring finger is in 6th of your G, and pinky is in 6th of your E string, right? First you strum just sort of the bass note and then the chord, right? Then with your thumb, you play the bass, and then up, down, right? Bass note again, and then up, down, right? Up, down. And then we get this next part. This is a tricky section. I'm not sure if the nylon string guitar makes it extra tricky because the neck is a little bit wider. At the same time, the strings are a little bit more gentle, so I don't know. So what do? You start off with a B major triad, right, which comes from your E-shaped B chord. Pointer finger in 7th of B, middle finger 8th of G, and ring finger in 9th of D. You play that with pointer finger, middle finger, and ring finger. Then you make a hammer on with your ring finger on G and B in 9th, right? Which is like a very typical Mateus Asato thing. Or let me put it like this. Outside of Mateus Asato, I've never really seen that done, but maybe I've never really paid attention that well to certain guitar players. That could be a thing. So you do that first. Then, probably something controversial here. So first of all, just B and E string in 7th, and then adding ring finger in 9th there. But I hear on the recording, I hear open G string running through that. So whether that's like a not meant to be or whatever, I think it sounds better without it, right? But whatever you want. So I try to keep it out of there. And then you play open E, and you put your pointer finger in 9th of a G, B, and E, and you make a hammer on 11th with your ring finger on E. Play that again, and then make the pull off, and then put your pinky in 12th of B, right? And that's D, G, and B string that you're playing there. And I need to tune here. Then what you do, so you have your pointer finger still in 9th of D, G, and B. You play D and B together with pointer finger and ring finger. Make a hammer on with your ring finger and pinky on 11th position of those strings. Play that again and make a slide, a grace note slide towards 9th, like this. So you get this. Then pointer finger goes to 7th of B, middle finger to 8th of D, and then ring finger goes to 9th of A, right? Now, the next part is also a little bit, well, controversial. I'm not really sure if that would be the word for it. But what I play is this, right? Now, in the recording, you see his fingers do this, which is the ring finger playing a higher note. So whether it's an effect that puts the note down an octave or he added an instrument, but I don't really hear that high note that well. I do hear that low note really well. So instead of playing the high note, right, he does here, I'm using the bass note, right? So for that, I have pinky in 9th of G, ring finger in 9th of E, low E. I play that, slide up to 11 and back down to 9. Put my ring finger in 9th of D. All right. And then what I do is I play D and G, and I slide really quickly to 6th position like this. Put my pointer finger in 4th, play that, right? And do that. Mateus Asato slide up and down. We need a really cool name for that, but that's like his thing. Then you get that pickup again. Then this. All right. So you play that hammer-on of that E major 7 chord again. But now you play, after that, with middle finger, you play 7th of B. Then you do that hammer-on again with the bass note. Then play that G string once more and slide it down to 6th. And then pointer finger 4th. And that's with a pull off at the end. Then ring finger goes to 4th of the D string. Pointer finger 1st of G. Hammer on with your middle finger in G in 3rd, and then play open B. All right. Then you get this again. And then you get this part. All right, so what you do, ring finger flat on D and G in 9th. Then slide up towards 8th with pointer finger on G, 9th with middle finger on D, like this. Then with pinky and ring finger, place them on 9th of D and G, and when you play them, sort of instantly slide down to 6th position. Then pointer finger 4th again, and then you play pinky in 7th of B and G, B and E. And then you do another, that slide up and down thing that Mateus Asato does, right? So. So like this. Then you get. And then instead of doing, you get this. So you could put your ring finger in 6th of D, play it, slide it down to 4th, put your middle finger down on 3rd of G, and then open B. All right? And then you get. All right? So from starting on that B major chord slowly. Sorry. All right, so that's it for today. I will have the rest ready by next week. The tablature, the full transcription is already available for my patrons. Also, I want to give a huge thank you to all of my patrons because with all the transitions that I've gone through in the last couple of months, losing my job and the pandemic and such, Patreon has definitely been a lifeline for me. So thank you so much. Wishing you all a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.